Hello everyone. Today I'm in Manassas, Virginia, and it is my very first time at the Manassas Battlefield National Park. And I don't even know if I'm going to be walking on a trail. I'm just checking out the area just because I'm in the area. But I think that I will go on one of the trail. I see a sign that says First Trail. I'm just walking over here because I'm new to the area, but essentially I'm going to be turning back around. It really is a beautiful property though, lots of land, although there isn't necessarily a clear path for this particular walk. I feel like I might need to make another trip out here one day just specifically to explore this entire property. But there are multiple trails here. There's a trail called First Trail, another one called Second Trail, and they're both around 5.4 to 6 mile loops. So that would be interesting. Unfortunately, I got here when the visitor center was just about to close at 5 p.m. And so I was only just able to get a quick map. But again, I came to the area to run an errand. And then I'm like, okay, what do I want to explore out here? And so here I am. Yeah, I will definitely have to make it a priority just to come out here and explore this property. This even looks like something that a building that could be explored inside when it is open, because it looks like it's pretty empty inside. Yeah. Can you imagine the maintenance of this property, what it costs? It is such a huge property. Just to mow the lawn probably costs an arm and a leg. I'm looking at the sign here to see what direction I should go in. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go back around and do First Trail from up top. This is the Henry Loop. But I'm not exactly sure where it loops back to. And it's also not shaded. So I am gonna turn back around, and then I guess I'll pick this up once I get onto the actual trail, and hopefully it is shaded, because I am definitely not dressed for open space like this today. So here we are at the start of the First Manassas Trail, and it looks like it's gonna be shaded. I'm excited about it. This is really a beautiful trail. It is beautifully shaded and just what I needed right now because it is blazing hot. My goodness. The terrain is also interesting. There are some hills and some flat surfaces, which is always a good thing for your cardiovascular health. But there are a lot of gnats on the trail. And usually I would have a covering, but for some reason I don't have it with me because it wasn't in the plans to actually come here. I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of gnats and bugs on this trail. And usually I have a knit covering for that, but then I'm very new to this trail, so I didn't bring it with me. And so it is a bit uncomfortable as a result of that because I keep having to fan the gnats away from my face. But the trail is gorgeous. And I definitely feel like I want to come back, maybe before the end of the week, to be honest with you. There's a lot to see here and do. And I would love to be able to come here on a day where I am well prepared for it. I am dressed the way I need to be dressed. I have everything that I need to be as comfortable as possible to enjoy the outdoors. You know what the funny thing is? I could actually smell the pine trees. They smell incredible. That's another thing I love about the bigger trails in Virginia. They're beautifully marked. And ironically, that yellow trail, I believe, was that loop that I didn't take earlier because I didn't know where actually it would end up. But look at that. So now I know for the future, and that's how I am. I make mental notes so that for the future I can take a different path and end up where I need to be and get a chance to see multiple parts of the trail. You can see here the blue markers. Everything is well marked. I love that about the bigger state parks in the DMV. How beautiful is this? It is stunning. And we're back into open space with the sun blazing down on me. But at this point, it is what it is. At least I got a solid 2 miles essentially of just shade, which is good. And this is one big loop. So this loop will take us all the way back around to the visitor center. It's a beautiful day. It is so beautiful. I am definitely coming back. I just feel like there is a lot to explore out here and just so much to learn about the history. And a great day would be to plan a little bit better and come when the visitor center is open. Isn't it a spectacular trail? Wow, it is huge. And we're back on a shaded path. I just saw a beautiful red bird flew right across. I hope you guys saw that as well. How varied this trail is. We walked on dirt, we had a bit of asphalt, we had a lot of grass. Now we're on a boardwalk. We had different types of terrains, uphill, downhill, shaded, unshaded paths. Just beautiful. This property is huge. I'm so glad I decided to check this park out. It is. This section of the trail feels so cool. It's almost as if the temperature dropped by about 20 degrees in this section. Look how lush it looks. Very forested. And just so beautiful, surrounded by trees. And you can see the main road over there, and you can hear it as well. It definitely does not disrupt the peace and tranquility I feel just walking on this path. And I love trails that are looped, especially when they're longer. Sometimes you go to like community trails and they're like maybe a 1 mile, 2 mile loops, but this is a bigger loop. I think it's like 5.1 or 5.4, something along those lines. I don't like to put camera in people's face, so pardon when I sort of verge off onto the side when I see people coming, especially children. Yeah, but as I was saying, I love loops because you get to see different side of the trail as opposed to an out and back trail. And this is a longer loop. And this is just one of the trail. This is the First Manassas Trail. There's a one called Second Manassas Trail, which is about 5.7 to 6 miles loop. So that's a different trail, and that was the yellow marker. And then they have other mini trails throughout the park as well. That's about 2 miles loop. And all of those loops actually loop into each other. So essentially you can double up on these trails and make it a full 10, 12 mile. A 10, 12 mile loop. Sorry, I was looking to see what is coming down here. But it looks like it's a squirrel with something in its mouth. Because I definitely like to pay attention. Again, if you've listened to any of my content, you know I'm afraid of snakes. And when I'm new to a trail, my eyes are always peeled looking for them. So when I see something coming down the path, I need to know what it is. That's a bridge up top, but obviously I'm gonna follow the trail. When I'm new to a trail, I make it a priority to stay on the path and follow the markers. That way I don't get lost, especially since the park itself closes at sunset and it's close to that time, so I definitely don't want to get lost and get enclosed in this massive park. This is beautiful. How beautiful is this view? Oh my goodness. And I just came up a hill, so I am definitely out of breath. Ooh, it is beautiful. beautiful sit and think about it area.
But it's like, I mean, they have a, I forgot how, but they have like the communicating thing. Like, they can communicate with.
Beautiful trail. Beautiful. I cannot stop saying how beautiful it is. It is so gorgeous out. My goodness. Now I'm curious to see what the other trail looks like. I am only 3 miles in, so I have a couple more miles to go because I've stopped so many times. I am someone that actually really just enjoy my walk. I don't care how long it takes me. I stop, I take pictures, I'm curious. I'll stop to watch a bird. I'll stop to take in my surroundings. How gorgeous is this? Oh. We are close to the end of the loop, and I just wanted to make sure I capture how beautiful this section of the loop is. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely stunning on both sides. Hi. Hello. Just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Never a dull moment for the outdoors in good old Virginia. all that distance we covered. Well, I covered. It is beautiful. This was a spectacular walk. So all the way in the distance is the visitor center, and that's where we actually started. So that's how far I have to go. And ironically, when I was up there looking down here and trying to figure out what the best path is to the trails, this is what I was seeing from up top and thinking, oh no, that has to be the wrong way. But it would have led me right back to the trail. It is just stunning. So beautiful. Just so beautiful. And now I'm seeing another parking lot down there where I could actually park instead of parking at the visitor center. And imagine coming back in this direction and running up this hill. Beautiful. Ironically, when I was doing the first swoop of the property, this is practically where I left off and decided to turn around to go back to where I saw the sign for the trail. But if I had just continued down this path, it would have just taken me in the opposite direction, back in one big loop. Should have just trusted my instinct. That said, this is where we started essentially, and this is where we're going to be ending today. And I just wanted to thank you all for coming on this exploratory walk with me today, discovering something new together. I will be sure to leave some literature in the description area for you to have a little bit more knowledge about this particular park and its history. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a spectacular day.